Hi, welcome to Living Your Dreams. My name is Cantor, and I am actually the Chief Dream Officer, the CDO of the Dream Factory community here in Metro West. And what I specialize in is helping women entrepreneurs find their dreams, get organized around them, and then actually fulfill them. And my guests that I have on my show I feel like they're very good examples of people that are doing that. So I'm hoping for people in the audience is that as you listen to the conversation that I have, especially with my guest here today, that you gain insight as to what your dreams might be or how you might pursue them. And even get excited that it's actually possible to live your dreams and have a profession that actually really fits your gifts and what you would like to contribute here in the world. One of the things we do at the Dream Factory is we have lots of courses, groups. I do women in business luncheons once a month, and we even have a ladies' night out. So if you want more information, you will see at the end of the program how you can get in touch with us. But right now, what I'd like to do is introduce you to my guest today. Her name is Caren McVicker. She lives in Wayland, Massachusetts, and she's an independent consultant for Arbonne skincare company. Now, I know she'll give you more of the specifics of what that means. She's actually an executive regional vice president for that company. And I myself, the way that I've connected with Caren is I've done some work with some of her consultants that work with her. And I've gotten very excited about this company because what I find is it's actually a company that's really helping women have their professional dreams come true. So here, before I go any further, I'm going to introduce you to our guest today, and her name is Caren McVicker. Thank you, Caren, for being here.
Thank you, Nancy. It's great to be here with you.
One of the things that I remember when I first talked with you, and what I talked about, that I run the Dream Factory, and it's all about women living their dreams. I just remember that conversation, how we just completely connected. That some people hear that and they go, what's that about? But it seems like with you and with the women that you're working with and the company that you work for, it's very much connected to that kind of belief system and way of operating.
No, absolutely. I remember that conversation too. And I feel like in some ways we're really in the same business. Your goal with the Dream Factory community is to help people identify their dreams and realize you actually have a choice. You can make these things happen in your life. And what I do with Arbonne is very much the same in helping people realize there is a business opportunity. They can do it from home. They can do it alongside whatever other job they have right now. And they can really start to live their dreams financially and professionally and personally. So we really are kind of in the same business. We just go about it a different way.
Well, that's what's kind of exciting about it, because I like the idea that you have a practical opportunity that you can offer people. And I know Arbonne has a great structure for people to support them in how they're going about doing their work. One thing I wanted to ask you, because I think it'd be interesting for people, is a little bit about your background and how you got connected to this opportunity.
Okay. Originally, I went to college. I studied advertising and public relations and just got a job right out of school, and I was miserable. I just wasn't really cut out to count sick days and have to work so many days to get a vacation day, and I was really unhappy working in kind of that typical structure. And I went out on my own very early and started doing some technical writing and computer training as an independent consultant when I was in my early 20s. And that kind of grew, and I had a fairly successful business, but it was based on billable hours. So the only way to make money was to either work more hours or be so good you could charge more per hour. But when you went on vacation, you didn't make money. If you wanted to take the summer off, you weren't getting paid. And that always struck me as I kind of wanted to be in business for myself, but that was really difficult. And so when Arbonne came along, I had actually stopped working. I was home. I have two sons who are now 8 and 5. But when I started Arbonne about 2.5 years ago, I started realizing here was an opportunity to be self-employed, to be my own boss, but I was building a residual income stream. And it was the first time I'd ever really understood that business model, where I was building something where when I took a day off, I still got paid. If I needed to go on vacation, I was still earning income. And it was just a very different business model. I had never been aware of it before, and I was just really curious about it, and could I make it happen? So that was kind of how I got started with it.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people, it's called multi-level marketing. And so some people are familiar with that. Why don't you explain a little bit how that works? You know, because you're saying you have residual income. How does that happen? So explain a little bit.
I mean, the basic difference in network marketing or multi-level marketing, the goal is the same as in traditional retail marketing, in that you've got products being manufactured and you're trying to get them to the consumer. And in traditional retail marketing, the products leave the manufacturer and you've got warehousers and wholesalers and all these people who are involved, and they're all taking a piece of the pie before it actually gets on the store, you know, on the store shelves. And in multi-level marketing or network marketing, you've got the manufacturer, and then you have a team of independent consultants, and they really provide the word of mouth, you know, advertising to move product from the manufacturer to the consumer. And so what we do on my Arbonne team is we are that team of independent consultants, and we introduce people to the Arbonne products. We teach them the benefits of using pure, safe, beneficial products, how they can purchase them at a discount, and then if they're interested, how they could build their own team and earn income. So basically, I have a whole team of wholesale consultants underneath me who shop and love the products. They're getting them at a discount, and I make an itty-bitty commission every time someone goes online and shops. So as it grows, you know, your checks would grow.
That's
So
interesting.
that's kind of how it works. So it's very team-oriented. The way we're building our, you know, every Arbonne team has its own nuances and little different focuses. But we really are very focused on this business opportunity, this idea of being able to get great products at a great discount, and very much building a team.
I think that's great.
That's how we do it.
And I know when we talked, it was very much about helping people live their dreams.
Yes.
So in terms of you, what is your dream? Like, and how does this fit into your dream?
Well, I think I've always had this dream of being self-employed. Like we were talking before the show started, when I was in second grade, my dad left his corporate job and started his own company. So, you know, I would come home from school and my dad was on the couch with the dog, you know, making deals. And I just kind of grew up around that. So I think I have always wanted to be self-employed. And what's different with Arbonne is, and you may have heard this before, but I'm in business for myself, but not by myself. So part of my dream is working with really exciting people. Being surrounded, we've talked about just being surrounded by really interesting, positive people. That was part of my professional dream. And I think I also, I guess it's my dream to wake up in the morning and think, who can I help today? And that's been a big part of it for me. It's about helping other people, seeing other people figure out, I can balance my life. I don't need to be so stressed out. They're just things they want, whether it's they, you know, don't want to worry about their mortgage, or they want to be able to send their kids to a private school, or they want to be able to retire, or they, whatever their goal. Everyone's dreams are different. And what's great about what I do is I get to help so many different people think about what it is they really want their life to look like, the whole picture, not just their job, but their whole, like a balanced life. And so I guess part of my dream is helping other people achieve their dreams, but at the same time, I think it is this idea of the balanced life. You know, you can be there for your family, yet you're still fulfilled professionally, and then you can start to add, you know, that community service piece, you know, all of that. Health and wellness, it's that whole healthy lifestyle with the time and the financial wherewithal to really enjoy it.
Give some examples of maybe some of the people on your team, like what their dream, you know, whether they fulfilled them or not fulfilled them quite yet, but, you know, what brings somebody into a company like this, or this kind of doing business? Because you really do work from your home.
Yes.
And like you said, you are an independent consultant, so you are on your own, and you have a whole level of support, which is really great.
That's great.
Well, what are some of the dreams that people are working on?
You know, I have a dream book. I had a bunch of my managers completed a little goal-setting sheet for where they wanted to be at the end of the year on December 31st, and I had them write what success with Arbonne would mean for them. So I know a lot of their dreams and what they're looking for. For some people, it's really just making a couple extra $100 a month. You know, it's that ability to say, okay, it's like they don't have a car payment. You know, I can remember getting a thank you letter once from someone on my team saying, you know, we've needed to replace our refrigerator for 5 years, and finally, because of Arbonne, you know, we were able to get a new refrigerator. So it ranges everything from that to people who know they're behind the 8 ball when it comes to saving for college for their children. They just haven't been able to do that. They can't catch up. So some people I know have larger goals of saving for college, saving for retirement. We have some people who just want that dream job. They want to work, but they also want to be there for their kids. They want to be able to go on the field trip. They want to be able to be there for that class play. They don't want to be commuting back and forth. So I think we do have a large group on our team who are really looking for that professional achievement and still being able to be home and be grounded in their family life. We have a lot of people looking for that. But we have people in all age ranges, a lot of people who maybe have been laid off or lost a job and don't really care to go back into that corporate environment. They're ready to kind of take things in their own hands and be in charge of their future. So it does, right? You know, and of course we have the car program with Arbonne. So a lot of people want the car.
So tell me about this car. I found myself very intrigued by this.
Well, in Arbonne, when you become a regional vice president, you get the right to drive the company car, which is a white Mercedes of your choice. And it's, you know, it can be any style, new, used. You can buy it, you can lease it. It's really a great program because you get to pick out exactly the car you want. And since Arbonne's products are known to be pure, safe, and beneficial, they just felt like the white Mercedes was the best car to sort of illustrate a pure, safe, beneficial car. So it's a great program. So we definitely have some people who wrote on their form that their goal was, their dream is to be in that white Mercedes.
So you can buy whatever Mercedes you want.
As long as it's white.
As long as it's white, and they'll pay whatever payment that is.
Actually, it's a set amount based on what you earn, on your team.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's basically, they're in the ballpark of covering your payment.
Oh, they absolutely. I think some people it way more than covers it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Isn't that great?
It is. It's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, that would be quite a... I remember back when you were talking about you wanted people to ask you about your business, and that seems like a great thing to be driving, to have people go, how did you do that, or where did you get that?
No, it is. It's great.
You have great things that you say. What are some of the things that you say when people ask you about your business, or I can tell you how, you know, like about the Mercedes? I remember, what was that woman at childcare when you're dropping one of your kids off?
And asked me about my car.
Yeah, she asked you about your...
I have to remember. Yeah, I think people ask all the time. Well, a lot of people say, hey, do you like your Mercedes? Because I'm driving the new R-Class. And it's great. I say, yeah, it's a great car. And, you know, I actually get paid to drive it. And that's, people say, what? How do you get, someone pays you to drive a white Mercedes? Yeah, you know, because I have my home-based business. And then that always opens up conversation, and they want to know how and how many hours you have to work to get the car. And because we have this team structure, it's really about leveraging your time. So, you know, if I can only work 10 or 15 hours a week, but I have a whole team of people who can all work 10 hours a week, all of a sudden we're leveraging hundreds of hours, you know, towards this common goal of building this network of consumers. So it's really neat how it spreads out.
Now, how did you start out? Because, you know, when you start, I mean, who talked to you about this? How did you get this going? Because
we have really good friends from graduate school. My husband went to grad school out in Arizona, and dear friends of ours out there, Jerry and Rochelle Nichols, first introduced us to the idea of Arbonne. Rochelle had been with Arbonne for about 6 months, and we were out there on a family vacation just to visit them. And she had this new idea of really leading with the business opportunity, leading with this idea of we can build a business by teaching people how they can shop at a discount. So it was kind of just turning the traditional, maybe product class model on its ear a little bit, leading more, as opposed to it being product, oh yeah, and it's a great business. Start with, this is a great business, and it's supported by these wonderful products. So it's just that little flip-flop. So she came to me on our vacation and said, would you look at this business plan? Because she knew I had done some things in documentation and training, and she wanted some training. And I just read it, and I got so curious. It was curiosity that got me into this business, because I thought, I wonder if this would work. Because of my background, having been in the billable hour situation, I thought, wow, this would be incredible. And I would be meeting neat people and kind of building this core team and working with other women. We hadn't been in Massachusetts very long. We'd only been here 2 years. I had kids in preschool. My husband was traveling every week. I was very isolated. And I think just, you know, I was so curious, could I do this? Without turning my life upside down, could I absolutely change everything? And that was it. So it was curiosity that got me into it.
And it was when you had your other business, your training business?
I know. I had not worked in years. It was really just my background in that.
Okay.
Because I knew that wasn't a job I could do and have my children and be with my children.
So you basically taken time off.
I had taken a lot of time off. I had been a stay-at-home mom for probably 5 years at the time I decided to jump into Arbonne.
Wow. So you took a long time off, and then you saw this opportunity, and you said, oh, this could work.
And I really wanted to help her. I think it came from a place of, oh, my friend had such a good idea. So it started off really in the beginning thinking I was really going to help her succeed. And then the more I read it over and over again, I was so curious, would this work?
Okay, so when you first started, how did it go? What was it like when you first said, okay, I'll try this?
It was good. It was a lot of, it was a brand new idea. So I was here in Massachusetts. She was in Arizona. She had her sister and some other family members get started with her right away. So there was a lot of late night calls and trying to figure out exactly how we were going to do it this way. So that was exciting. And then it was just jumping in. We do a presentation and we introduce people to the products, and you try and do so many a week, and I think I just jumped in with both feet and said, let's just try it.
And how long did it take you to, it's, now being wait a minute, let me just say, you're an executive regional vice president as an independent consultant for Arbonne. Okay, so, a lot of times I meet a lot of people that try different kind of, because it always sounds like such a great idea, and it'd be so easy or fun or whatever, but then people lose interest.
Right.
But you haven't lost interest, and you're really building a team. And what really attracted me to you and the Arbonne opportunity is that people seem to be succeeding at it. I feel like I'm an infomercial, but they really are succeeding at it. And the way the payout structure is good, and even their whole philosophy, they're very much about personal growth, which of course resonates for me, because I'm all about how personal growth can lead to professional success.
Absolutely.
And that you have to be willing to do that extra work on yourself so that who you are as a business person is somebody who can be successful.
Well, Arbonne always says that they're actually a professional development company disguised as a skincare company.
Okay.
So they know that that's a big part of what they're about, and they offer phenomenal training. It's just a great company to be involved with. We get weekly, we have a weekly Learn and Burn audio CD series with fantastic speakers on it. We have an online, Arbonne University online. We have so much support for that. And we do on our team, too. I offer training opportunities to my team. But I think that what really, the process, I am the poster child for slow and steady wins the race. I'm all about consistent activity. If someone tells me, okay, to succeed, you need to get the Arbonne story in front of 3 people every week, I do. And if I have a week where a couple people cancel, then, okay, I only saw 2 people this week. I'm going to make sure I see 4 or 5 people next week. And that's really all it takes. It's that consistent effort of, just talking to 3 to 5 people a week, whether that's one small group presentation with 3 people there, or you have coffee with a few people. It's about keeping your calendar full and just that commitment to consistent effort. And it's not a huge effort. It's just consistent effort. So everyone's results are different. Every consultant goes at a different pace. I became a district manager in 5 months, an area manager in 10 months, and I was a regional vice president, only having been in the company 19 months. Now there are people doing it much faster than that. When I did it, that was considered fairly speedy, and now we see people coming in really understanding how the compensation plan works, how the promotion structure works, and they may be going even faster than that. But everybody's results are different, and some people, it may take them 2 years to become a regional vice president. What's nice about it is you get to run your own race. And I really like that, and especially in coaching people. Arbonne's such a wonderful structure because you can go at your own pace. And if you need to go lickety-split, we can coach you how to do that. But if you need to take your time and build it slowly, maybe you've got young babies at home, or maybe you're working a 60-hour-a-week job, you can also do it slowly and still get to that same level of success.
That's nice.
It is nice. It's just, I get so excited.
No, I think it's great. I have another friend who's in Arbonne, and I was talking with her, and we're talking about how it's a great structure, and inside the structure you find you can find yourself inside that structure, and everybody has a different way of going about it. But like as you said, it's probably useful to do consistent activity. And so you're saying, like, in 19 months, you got to a level where now you drive a Mercedes. That's pretty good results in a relatively short amount of time. That's less than 2 years. And how many people? Say more about how many people are on your team, how that structure works.
Well, we have a lot of people who are just independent consultants on our team who are really just enjoying shopping online at a discount. So those are, I think the term is wholesale consultants. So they're people who join Arbonne really just to get the discount on the products and the convenience of online shopping. Everybody loves to just shop online. It's 10:30 at night. You realize you're out of stuff. You just go online. It shows up at your door. So I have well over 1,000 people sort of in my network somehow who are shopping with us. And then in terms of managers, I have about 80 people who have promoted to some level of management, and there's probably a core team of about 30 people that actively are working to promote, to really pursue their dreams. And it's really exciting. I had never managed that many people. I've always been kind of a hired gun, working on my own, working alone, and I'm loving it, and it's causing me to grow. I did not have the skills. I didn't come into this knowing how to manage 30 people and continue to just see it grow. So that's why I'm working with you, Nancy.
That's right.
Figuring out how to kind of, for myself, to take it to that next level. So.
Well, I think the thing that you said about being committed to, that there's something underlying this company, and for you personally, that, very much committed to growing.
Yes.
And that's what it takes. One of the things that I notice in working with entrepreneurs is that people can come from a corporate environment or environment where they've done a particular task and they have good skills, but there's lots of skills involved in being an entrepreneur. You have to be able to have a vision of where you want to take things, because you are working on your own. You need to be able to get organized around that. You need to be willing to grow and develop yourself in order to do that. And you also need to be able to gather a community and gain that kind of support around you.
Oh, absolutely. And I would say for me personally, having been a stay-at-home mom for several years, I don't think I realized how much I used to be able to get done in a day. And you think, everyone says I'm too busy, I can't add Arbonne to my plate, but the fact that I added Arbonne to my plate, I'm doing more. We were talking before, I'm involved with Parmenter, the Wayside Hospice in Wayland. I'm on their community board now. I've become an advisor for a new chapter of Chi Omega at Babson College in Wellesley. And it's great. And that's part of the dream, is this full, robust life where you're connecting with all these different people and you're actually making a difference. And that's really what it's all about. And I think if it hadn't been for Arbonne, I wouldn't have gotten turned on again.
Yeah.
It just got me really turned on about just getting involved and making things happen.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you need the right kind of structure. Yeah. I think sometimes just having the right kind of structure inspires you into a form of action that really has you make your contribution. Because I hear you talk about Arbonne and how you want to make a contribution. So it gives you a structure and an opportunity to do that, plus to make money, to have a help you have a lifestyle that you want. It gets you going in terms of making a contribution. I know you've done a lot of work with Parmenter, and it sounds like you're going in the direction where you're going to take on a major, capital funding.
Yeah, they've started an endowment campaign. They're trying to raise $5 million over the next 3 years, and I'm hoping to play a part in that. They've asked me if I'll look into that, and I would really like to, again, that's part of the dream, being in a position financially and professionally where I feel like I could put myself out there and help with this capital campaign for Parmenter. I'd love to do that. So
I think that's wonderful.
Really
that's
exciting.
Just wonderful. And helping, a sorority, a chapter of a sorority at Babson. It's just what I hear you saying is you've got a rich, full life. And you've got a lot of different areas where you're contributing and you're making a difference. Now, how do you, I know people out there are probably wondering, how do you do all that? Because you're really, you went from stay-at-home mom to doing a lot of different things, managing 30 people and beyond. How does that work with your family? Because I know work-life balance is important to you and to a lot of people.
I think definitely, my standards on some things at home may have gone down a little bit in terms of how perfect the house has to be. There's some give and take, and there's certainly growing pains when you first add anything new to the recipe. It takes a little while to figure it out. First and foremost, I have an incredibly supportive husband. My husband, Joe, is amazing, and that has been a huge help in all of this happening. And I think it is about understanding your calendar and understanding time. Since I started Arbonne and I got so much more involved in life, I don't watch very much television. When you give up TV, you put a lot of time back in your life. And I need my sleep. I need my 8. So I'm not one of those moms. I'm not staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning, scrapbooking or doing anything extra. So I think you have to decide what's important. It's setting priorities, like we work with, saying these are, if this is what I value, then this is where my time is going to go. And I think sometimes we can get wrapped up and we're spending time on things that really aren't in alignment with our values. And so when you start to get things in alignment, you really do feel like there's more time in a day. It's a strange phenomenon. I'm sure you've had that, though, when you're working on things where it just all fits.
Well, I think also, too, if you're inspired and you're really connected to what you're doing, then you bring that inspiration to all areas. Like, I can get inspired about cooking.
Right.
If I'm pretty flat, it's hard to get inspired about anything. Cooking would probably be the bottom of the list. But I know, like, when I'm working and I've got, this training and I'm getting these materials ready and I'm thinking about this group that I get a chance to work with, I'm excited, and I think about my family and how do they need to be taken care of. So the next thing you know, I'm shopping for things that I know they'll love, or I'll orchestrate something with my son and we'll spend some time. And it's almost like one thing feeds another.
Absolutely. And I think it's momentum in your life. And you're going to, they say busy people are the people who get more done.
Right.
And that's really what I was experiencing before I got involved with Arbonne. I mean, I would say I was probably on my way to being a little bit depressed because I didn't have enough going on. So there's that balance, that life-work balance. Okay, if you don't have enough going on, all of a sudden you have no energy, you're lethargic, there's no reason to get out of bed. If you've got too much going on, it becomes stressful. So if we think about that plate, we talk about adding something new to the plate. If you want a really colorful plate, if you want your life to have a lot of different things on your plate, is portion control.
I like that, portion control.
It is portion control. So if you got to only have a little bit of chicken, and then you're going to have some asparagus, and you're going to have salad, some potatoes, maybe whatever. You've got to have a little bit of all of it. So there's definitely being smart enough to say no, because you can't have everything on the plate. But you could have that very diverse palette and really have this full, rich life. But I think there is a little bit of portion control on all of that. So, like, I'm involved with Chi Omega, but I made sure I have a specific job as an advisor, and that makes it manageable. I don't have to be at every meeting.
Right.
I try and go to one a month. And with Parmenter, I've been picking and choosing and plugging in. They have so many volunteer opportunities. They have some things that are more on a weekly basis. Well, I like things that are more project oriented, so that I know I can tell my family, look, like we had our big gala last night, I'm going to be working on that these days, and I need coverage these times. So it's being smart about those portions and what you're putting on your plate.
No, I like that.
That really helps.
And I think it's also making sure that the things that you're doing are really fulfilling.
Yes.
There's no point in saying I'm going to do this, and not really enjoying it. Like, you have to put it together in such a way that you're really going to enjoy what it is that you're doing.
Right.
And it sounds like you've done a really good job doing that.
It's a constant evaluation, Nancy. You never know. So I think, there are days it seems like a lot, and there are days you just feel like the luckiest person on the planet. So you just strive for more of those, more days that just feel really good.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for being here, and to, I think in terms of you sharing what it is that you do, hopefully it'll give people some insight. Because not everybody has to do Arbonne. Some people might be interested.
Absolutely.
It could be a wonderful opportunity. And I think that it's important for people to start thinking about what really fits for them.
Absolutely.
And what can they, I always think in terms of what can I build and what can I grow and how can I make the biggest contribution. I used to do a lot of personal one-on-one coaching, and I still lead groups. But when I started the Dream Factory community, it was a lot about how could I make a bigger contribution. Because if you get people together in a community and you have a lot of sourceful events and opportunities for people to sort of cross-pollinate, then all of a sudden the community starts working together. And so you can source a community and have a lot more happen. That doesn't always have to be you directly. And I see that that's something that you're working on.
Absolutely. And I think the one thing you said too, even if it's not Arbonne for someone, I think just for people to realize you have power. You have the power to decide. You want things to change, that you have a vision, that there's a way you want your life to be, and you really can make it happen, whether it's through this opportunity or through another one, or just by deciding, I'm going to make things different.
I think that's a great point. And, I want to leave people today just to realize that you do have the power. Caren's a wonderful example. And what I suggest for people in the audience is that you go off and decide how do you want to manage your life? How do you want to source your life? And what do you want to create with that? And just know you have the opportunity to live your dreams. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. And thank you to you, Caren, for being a constant inspiration.
It was great to be here. Thanks so much.
Thank you.